The training grounds of the Galactic Coalition's military academy stretched across the crimson surface of Kepler 442b, a planet chosen specifically for its hostile environment. If recruits could survive here, they could survive anywhere. Drill instructor Vex's Thor, a towering Craxian with chitinous armor plating and 4 muscular arms, surveyed the latest batch of recruits with his usual disdain. Most were standard fare Xanthari with their crystalline skin, Morphids who could shift their density at will, and a handful of other species who had proven themselves worthy of Coalition service. But 2 humans stood among them. A statistical anomaly that made Vex Thor's mandibles click with irritation. Lisa Chen stood at attention, her dark eyes focused straight ahead, while Oliver Rodriguez maintained the same rigid posture beside her. Humans, the galaxy's newest addition to the Coalition, and in Vex Thor's opinion, its weakest link. Humans. Vex Thor's voice boomed across the training field, the translator implant rendering his clicks and hisses into comprehensible speech. Your species has been spacefaring for barely a century. You lack natural armor, enhanced reflexes, or any biological advantages whatsoever. Tell me, why should the Coalition waste resources training you? Oliver opened his mouth to respond. But Lisa spoke first. Because we're here anyway, sir. Might as well make use of us. The other recruits shifted nervously. No one spoke to Vex Thor with such casual defiance. The drill instructor's 4 eyes narrowed, focusing on the human female. She was small by galactic standards. Most species averaged 8 to 9 feet in height. Lisa barely cleared 6 feet. Confidence. Vex Thor clicked, circling her like a predator. Or stupidity? Let's test that human armor of yours, shall we? He gestured toward the equipment station, where their standard-issue training armor hung on racks. The armor was designed to withstand plasma fire, kinetic impacts, and environmental extremes. It was also calibrated to each species' physiology, a necessity given the diverse nature of Coalition forces. Lisa suited up without hesitation, the armor segments clicking into place over her frame. It was bulkier than the sleek designs the other species wore, compensating for humanity's lack of natural defenses. Oliver watched with concern but said nothing. He knew Lisa well enough to recognize the set of her jaw. She was going to prove something today. Standard durability test, Vex Thor announced, retrieving his baton, a composite alloy rod designed to test armor integrity without causing permanent damage. Recruits must withstand 3 strikes. The armor should absorb the impact. Any species with natural defenses rarely feels more than a tap. He demonstrated on a Xanthari recruit, who barely flinched as the baton connected with its crystalline shoulder plating. The next recruit, a Morphid, shifted density and absorbed the blow like striking pudding. Then came Lisa's turn. Vex Thor raised the baton, and for a moment, something flickered across his alien features. Perhaps anticipation, perhaps contempt. He brought it down on her shoulder guard with the full force of his enhanced strength. The impact rang out like a bell. Lisa didn't move, didn't flinch. Her eyes remained locked forward. Vex Thor clicked in surprise. He struck again, harder this time, aiming for her chest plate. The baton connected with a thunderous crack. Lisa's boots slid back an inch in the red dirt, but she maintained her stance. Interesting, the drill instructor hissed. He raised the baton for a 3rd strike, this time putting his full strength into it, the kind of blow that would send most recruits sprawling. The baton came down on Lisa's helmet and snapped in half. The composite alloy, designed to withstand pressures that would crush conventional materials, shattered like glass. The broken end clattered to the ground between them. Silence fell over the training field. Even the perpetual wind seemed to hold its breath. Lisa slowly turned her head to look at the broken baton, then up at Vex Thor. Through the helmet's visor, her expression was unreadable, but her voice came through clear and steady. My turn, sir. The question hung in the air like a challenge. The other recruits exchanged glances. Oliver suppressed a smile. This was so typically Lisa turning a test into a confrontation, not through aggression, but through sheer, stubborn resilience. Vex Thor's mandibles twitched. In his 3 decades as a drill instructor, he had never broken a baton on a recruit's armor. The human design was crude compared to Zenthari biocrystal or Morphid adaptive plating. But it had one advantage. It was built by a species that assumed everything in the universe wanted to kill them. Because on Earth, everything usually did. "You wish to strike your superior officer?" Vex Thor asked, his tone dangerous. "No, sir," Lisa replied. "I wish to complete the exercise." 3 strikes, wasn't it? You gave me 3. Standard protocol suggests I return them to verify armor integrity from multiple angles. It was technically correct. The exercise was meant to be reciprocal, allowing recruits to understand both giving and receiving in combat situations. Most species simply tapped their instructors respectfully, but Vex Thor had never bothered with the second half when dealing with species he deemed inferior. He was trapped by his own protocol. "Very well," he growled, spreading his forearms. "Proceed." Lisa picked up the broken baton, testing its weight. Then she dropped it and walked to the equipment rack. Selecting a standard-issue training baton, unbroken, pristine, she returned to position and, without ceremony, struck Vex's Thor's shoulder guard. It was a measured blow, professional, testing the armor's response. The Craxian didn't move. The second strike came to his chest plate, equally controlled. For the third strike, Lisa paused. Her voice came through the helmet speaker, loud enough for every recruit to hear. "Humans don't have natural armor, sir. We don't have enhanced reflexes or biological weapons. But we have something else. We engineer solutions to every problem that tries to kill us. We build armor that can take a beating. We create weapons that punch above our weight class. And we never, ever stop adapting." She brought the baton down on Vex Thor's helmet with the same force he'd used on her. The Craxian's head snapped to the side. Not from pain, his species could barely feel such impacts, but from surprise, from respect, from the sudden realization that humanity's weakness was their strength. They had no natural advantages, so they built them. And they built them to last. Lisa stepped back and saluted. "Exercise complete, sir." Vex's Thor straightened, his 4 eyes studying her with new interest. Then, slowly, his mandibles spread in what might have been a smile. "Welcome to the Coalition, humans," he said. "I think you'll fit in just fine." Oliver finally allowed himself to grin as the other recruits erupted in clicks, chirps, and approximations of applause. Lisa removed her helmet, her hair matted with sweat, and shot him a look that said, "I told you so." The drill instructor's baton lay broken in the red dirt, a small monument to humanity's stubborn refusal to be anything other than terrifyingly competent. And somewhere in the galaxy, another species was learning what Earth had known for millennia. Never underestimate the species that had to fight for every advantage they ever earned.